I took over from a deficit. We've moved to 1,000,000%. All fellows will be published. Don't worry, it's a necessity. Oh yeah. Some of you cry, but you have to smile. We move on with the institution. Oh yeah. Shout outs to Methuselah of our institute. Yeah. Yeah. Heaven came down and glory filled my soul. So yesterday, do we have any representative from GBC? I mean GCB. Okay, so yesterday I wrote something after our CEO from GCB made his speech. These are the words of a frontier lad who lost his. Take a message to Mary, but don't tell her where I am. Take a message to Mary, but don't say I'm in a jam. You can tell her that I had to see the world. Tell her my ship set sail. You can tell her she better not wait for me, but don't tell her where I am. Don't tell her where I am. So this is what I wrote for our GCB people. I am going for a loan at GCB. I want to buy my landlord's house. I like the A. I'm going for a loan at GCB. I want to buy my landlord's house. I will reduce the rents for all tenants so they can sleep in peace. Renting in Accra as an HRM is not an easy thing. Oh Lord, please give me the loan. GCB, GCB, I say, please give me the loan.
Thank you very much, Nene. So you know where to go when you need a loan. But pray first. A round of applause for Nene. Would also like to acknowledge the presence of Colonel John Danso Ankra, Deputy Director General, General HQ HR, Burma Camp. You're welcome. And then Sunyani Techiman Chapter, we missed you. Hi, you're welcome. I promised you that at the appropriate time, the guest speaker will be introduced. I'd like to invite upstage Mrs. Josephine Kai Ayesujan, HR and Corporate Affairs Manager, to introduce our guest speaker for today. Thank you.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. High table. Professor Bill Buena, I hope I'm right. Buena Poblampo is Professor of Organizational Behavior and currently the Vice Chancellor of Central University, Ghana. He previously served as the Pro Vice Chancellor, Academic Affairs, and Dean of the university's Business School. Prior to these roles, he was head of Department of Organization and HRM and chair of the EMBA program at the University of Ghana Business School. He obtained his PhD from the University of East London, UK, in organizational behavior and international human resource management, focusing on the psychological responses to multinational expatriation. He started his academic career in the UK, teaching at the University of East London. Sorry, I'm a Ghana girl. Sometimes forgive me. I'll start that sentence again. He started his academic career in the UK, teaching at the University of East London, the University of Westminster, and carried out professional seminars at the London Metropolitan University as a visiting scholar. I think 60 gets in the way too sometimes, so please pardon me. He is a 2012 graduate of the German DIES DAAD International Dean's Course and a member of the Hamburg Global University Leaders Council until its dissolution in 2024. A lapsed chartered psychologist and associate fellow of the British Psychological Society, his research focused on research culture, corporate leadership, and employee motivation. He was recently, in 2023, honored by the University of East London as one of its 125 most impactful alum when the university celebrated its 125th anniversary. His recent publications have appeared in the Journal of the British Academy, JBA 2021, and the Africa Journal of Management, AJOM 2022. He was a consultant with PwC Ghana for many years and is the founding director of the HR firm CIHRM HR. He chaired the board of the Royal Bank in 2017 and 2018, and served on the boards of the Merchant Bank, Data Bank Educational Fund, Ghana's National Development Planning Commission, Ghana's National Insurance Commission, and Ghana's Tertiary Education Commission. He is a, please clap. That's a lot of things he's done for Mother Ghana, so we owe him an applause. So let's clap again for him, please. Okay, so he chaired the board of the Royal Bank in 2017 and 2018, and served on the boards of Merchant Bank, Data Bank Educational Fund, Ghana's National Development Planning Commission, Ghana's National Insurance Commission, and Ghana's Tertiary Education Commission. He is a fellow of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, a committed but not proficient squash player, and enjoys nature programs and learning about ancient civilizations and people. Audience, your guest speaker, Prof. Populampo.
Thank you very much, and good morning to all of us. It's a joy and a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you for the introduction. Sometimes when you are introduced, you don't know whether you're talking about yourself or somebody else, but for today I'll accept. Thank you very much. Madam President and Madam Vice President, I do have to state that Madam President, Madam Florence Hutchful, is also my boss. So I have to be careful what I say or don't say on this forum. But it's really nice to be here, and it's good that I have the opportunity to speak with you briefly. So Madam Florence Hutchful and Madam Vice President and members of the National Governing Council of the CIHRM, Dr. Francis Eduku, Chief Executive, fellows and members of the Institute, management and staff, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, and a few faces that are people who have given me wahala in times past, in different dispensations, but I've seen a few people and I acknowledge all of you. But I've seen a few people and I acknowledge all of you. Leo is one of them. I am honored. I've always called her Madam Chair. She's chair of my council, so Madam Chair. Now instead of saying Madam President, I'm saying Madam Chair. The two work together. The reality is that achieving all three, that is a resilient organization, a resilient workforce, a workforce that is high-performing and that is trustworthy, achieving all three at any one time in any one organization is like performing a snake oil dance with a king cobra. It is difficult. It is not impossible, but it's a tough sell. A very difficult process that work in progress, a work that never ends. Perhaps we can learn a few things from the one creature that can deal with the king cobra, the mongoose, which is one of the few creatures in the world that has the skill and the capacity to attack and kill a king cobra and eat it. And the mongoose, if you look at its size, very small. That creature is quick, it is agile, it is adaptable, and it is almost fearless. The mongoose also has a characteristic attack and retreat strategy in dealing with the snake. And very importantly, the mongoose has a natural antivenom capacity so that when the snake strikes, and you know the king cobra's venom can kill 11 men at the same time, one shot. But that little creature of a mongoose has been endowed with a natural antivenom hormones which prevent the absorption of the venom. Now, I feel like rushing ahead of myself and explaining why I want to use that, but I'll try and pause and come back to this at the end of my brief talk. I have 25 minutes. I don't know whether the 5 minutes is already gone. But more than 20 years ago, Andrew Templer, who was then at the University of Windsor in Canada, surveyed HR managers and identified three major challenges: flexibility to manage change and be adaptable and nimble, the issue of relevant education and training and the development of relevant systems for that, and then recruiting able talent and keeping able talent. Now, I'm sure these points are still relevant for us and have everything to do with building the type of workforce that we want to be proud of. So, Mr. CEO, I'd like to say that in the not too distant future, I will be beginning a series of research tackling HR next 2 or 3 years to that enterprise. And I will obviously be working through you and with as many of you as want to allow me to sit in front and ask you a few questions. Because one of the key areas that I realize we don't have is a cogent and clear analysis of what is happening with HR in our country on a year-by-year basis. So for this lecture, I'll deliver my mandate in something like a 5-part arrangement. At the end of each part, I will share a few lessons Part 1, defining the workforce. The workforce of any organization refers to the people who are employed to carry out the business of that organization. Critically, how you define the group informs the principles that you deploy to work with that group. A key issue regarding the topic we have is the need to foster an inclusive definition of the workforce. So, it is important for us to take note that as we discuss and think of a workforce, let us consider that this is an inclusive, all-embracing definition. From the top executive down to the cleaner, we are all in the workforce. Sometimes we make the mistake of thinking of the workforce as the shop floor worker. We are all in the workforce. And that definition is very important. I have found in my many years of organizational work and practice, and my many years in the university, that an inclusive definition assists in recognizing that good effort, capacity, and contribution can come from different corners of that workforce. And that enables us to open our minds to expect and see what others are doing in different parts of the workforce. By the same token, a group that may consider themselves to be outsiders and marginalized can be the source of the most difficult organizational problems. I did some work with an organization 6-7 years ago, and they had an embedded contract employee framework which complemented their regular staff. Their biggest ethical challenges came from the embedded contract staff. Now, that I realized as we did the work was partly because the definition of the workforce clearly indicated to them that they were in but out. So in their spirits and in their minds and in their delivery, they couldn't be bothered with what they do. Now, I don't know how you're going to treat that one and how you're going to deal with it in terms of categorization. I leave that to you. But the key thing is that as you define, so you operate. As they say, diversity is a fact, but inclusion is an everyday choice. I am sure that these points are still relevant today. So, as I've said, I'll be working on this research with you. The definitions that you apply will inform how you work with the people that you work with. Now, let me just see. Yeah. All right. My machine has done the beautiful trick on me. Give me a moment. Right.
While Doc is doing that, the AGM brochure can be accessed on the various chapter platforms. So please go there and you can get a copy of the brochure.
So the lesson number one that I have with regards to defining the workforce is that your entire management team must understand and subscribe to an inclusive definition of who you're working with. And where necessary, you will need to have an orientation program regarding this one. Please do not take it for granted that your people understand an inclusive definition of the workforce. Part 2, workforce resilience. Fundamental to resilience is a recognition that institutional and corporate existence will face a wide range of internal and external difficulties. How the people who work in and around the organization or the business decide to deal with the challenges will determine progress or retrogression. A resilient workforce is one that remains engaged, committed, thoughtful, while actively adapting to and recovering from the challenges and changes and adversities that they encounter. Resilience means our ability to withstand adversity. Again, let me use a natural exemplar. The greatest natural examples of resilience are certain species of trees, such as mangroves, baobab, and olives. Olives can live for 1,000 years. And see the size of the baobab. These have certain characteristic features, ladies and gentlemen. Strong root systems, stress tolerance, capacity for self-renewal and regeneration, and storage of essential nutrients. This means that the organization must understand and identify credible ways of supporting employees to build rootedness, of supporting employees to have nutrients, of supporting employees to withstand stress. Now, we need to find ways of promoting and operating adaptability. We need to find ways of ensuring that collectively our employees, our workforce, would work together in a collaborative way to problem solve. Obviously, we need to work with them in terms of various learning tools. Resilient individuals are better equipped to handle the setbacks that they are confronted with. Importantly, ladies and gentlemen, we need to craft a set of internal relationships which promote mental well-being. So, although some have argued against in-group and out-group, I believe that psychologically it's important that you will have teams that have in- and out-group systems. Why? Because you get a lot of your psychological nutrients from the groups that you work with, from the teams that you belong to. So it's important that we use them and use them very, very well. Critical to resilience, Madam President, is the supportive tone that is set by leadership through openness, resource provision as the resources are available, institutional mechanisms which help people to survive, and whether, irrespective of whether such adversity that they are confronted with is personal to themselves or business related. So, using the challenges which we confront and the natural system metaphor of the trees, I offer the following lessons. Lesson number 2. Create an HR system where people are helped to build roots in the organization and roots in their profession. Rootedness builds resilience. Create a system which helps individuals to discuss, review, and reposition their failures as learning points. Because when people can discuss their failures in an atmosphere of supportiveness, they can build up capacity and running shoes going forward. That is what gives capacity for stress tolerance. Lesson number 4. Resilient trees have a resource reserve. In similar manner, ladies and gentlemen, the entire supervisory chain must work towards helping people build up social capital. That's why I stress the friendships and the teams that we have. Help people to build up social capital. Help people to build up a cognitive reserve. Now, the cognitive reserve is basically the situation where people are learning and building up abilities and strengths and knowledge from various sources within the organization. And when difficulties arise, that reserve pops up to help them. and help people to build up what I call recognition banks. There was a time when I was accused some time ago that I like to acknowledge my people too much. But I couldn't be bothered, Madam President. I will acknowledge today, I will acknowledge tomorrow. So I acknowledge one. Across there is Professor Ivan Sokro, who is Dean of our business school, acting Dean of our business school, and I am proud that he was once my student. And I have noted Mrs. Golda Safo. She thought I wouldn't see her, but I have Golda Ofori. She thought I wouldn't see her, but I have seen her. She was once my student. The others I will keep quiet. But the point is that as we recognize and affirm each other, we build a cognitive and a social reserve. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are here and you're an HR practitioner, you don't know how to acknowledge, confirm, affirm people, you better go back to school. Lesson number 5. Please let's stop seeing and using the performance appraisal system as a tool only for training and development, compensation management, and task correction or target setting. Use it as a mechanism for resource capture, for self-renewal, for capacity modulation and rootedness through the discussions that we enable people to have during the appraisal processes. Ladies and gentlemen, I know in many organizations, appraisals are treated in a very haphazard and shoddy manner. Well, you want to build a resilient workforce, you want to build a trusting workforce, and a high-performing, look at the trustworthy workforce. Trustworthiness is a situation where psychologically, behaviorally, and procedurally, a person or a system or an organization can be consistently relied upon. This is the key thing, that we can rely on the person or the system consistently. That is being trustworthy. In the context of modern day corporate existence, where, as Henry Mintzberg has said, greed has become a high calling, it is difficult. We cannot assume that our workforce be trustworthy, no matter how noble they may seem. Indeed, it is the bane of many organizations in our country. Many organizations in Ghana cannot rely on their workforces. Now, if you take an inclusive definition of the workforce with which we started, you will note that we are here suggesting that the challenge of trustworthiness cuts across from the top to the middle to the bottom. Some of you may have known that while the boss is stealing, the laborer is pretending. While the manager runs a side gig, the supervisor has a store through which he or she sells items filtered from the organization. So trustworthiness is a very difficult currency. Importantly, AGM members, importantly, trustworthiness affects the costs of transactions. It affects the impacts on our clients, and it affects our relationships within the organization. Whilst it is desirable, colleagues, it does not just happen. It has to be built, it has to be developed forcefully and properly. The main difficulty is that being trustworthy renders you vulnerable. The person who is being trustworthy and the person who is trusting, we are all vulnerable. However, the vulnerability is relevant and important, and it's part of our human existence. Trustworthiness is demonstrated through integrity, demonstrated competence, and what I call strategic benevolence, where kindness is shown within the organization, whether from management or the workforce or whatever, but it is shown in a strategic way, and it is not an empty process of kindness. No, it aims to attain something within the people of the organization. To build trustworthiness, Madam President, I'll stress two key things. One, you need to promote organizational justice. Two, you need to promote a strong and credible internal control system. The organizational justice parameters, I don't have the time, procedural, distributive, informational, all those parameters you need to promote, because as often as you do that, it enables people in the organization to get a sense of equity, fairness, and openness. Now, it is important to also build strong internal control systems because, as I said, trustworthiness will not just happen. But as often as, and this is behavioral, as often as people know that when they break the rule, when they fiddle the books, and they get caught, they will be dealt with and dealt with severely. Sometimes, you will build a trustworthiness that arises basically because people are avoiding being caught. That's fine. Maybe somebody's surprised to hear me say that, but yes, that's fine. That's fine. Because in the context of the organization, we want the internal controls to instill in people the fact that I have got to be trustworthy. If I miss the road, I will be dealt with. Over time, the effort to stay on the straight and narrow builds in the person the capacity to respond in the appropriate way. And so sometimes it gets to a point where it comes naturally without you having to have preached. So, lesson number 6. Trustworthiness is an elusive human characteristic, but it must be intentionally developed, not assumed. Lesson number 7. By bringing organizational justice and internal controls together, you will build functional trustworthiness. There is an organization in Ghana, and I can't mention them because I don't have their permission to do that, which records high professionalism, mutual confidence between management and workers, and zero on ethical behavior. But this same organization has a fierce, no-nonsense approach to dispatching rule breakers. And some that I have interacted with in that organization have told me that they are hard, they are tough, they are difficult, they don't have heart. But that's fine, because in the absence of the heart, there have been no rule breakers. The challenge with many organizations is that sometimes internal controls are seen as applicable only to the workers. In other cases, the internal controls have not been properly articulated. So, Madam President, we've talked about trustworthiness. We now want to move to part 4, the high-performance workforce. The high-performance workforce of an organization is where the workers are dedicated, they are engaged, they are vigorously committed to the strategic aims of the organization. HR processes are aligned with the business needs of the organization, as well as the individual needs of the workers. Oftentimes, workforce productivity is a natural consequence of this. Again, Madam President, some of you may hear me say may be surprised to hear what I'm going to say next, but the proponents of the high-performance work system make two fundamental false assumptions. It's good, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying two fundamental false assumptions are made. One, it is assumed by those who propose that, and again I stress, don't let some media man say that the professor said high performance are not good. No, that's not what I'm saying. It is assumed that we have information symmetry, that we, all parties to the work arrangements in the organization, have all the necessary information about both market dynamics, individual intentions and needs and so on, all the time. But as you and I know, that is not the case. The second mistaken assumption that is made is that we have what you call unitary employee relations, where at all points and at all times, the principals, the agents, the operatives, etc., have the same or near similar goals. Now, these are false assumptions. Now, the false assumptions notwithstanding, my point for you is that bear the fact that you don't all have the same goals. Bear the fact that we don't all have the same information. Bear that in mind as you develop whatever you call your high-performance workforce. It is an aspiration. There are certain elements of it that you must have. One, clearly articulated business strategy that is understood by all, or as many as possible. So if in your organization the business strategy, where the business is going, is not understood by a lot, you will have a difficulty implementing a high-performance workforce. Two, a strong and strategic human resource management department or directorate or unit. It is fundamental to launching the high-performance work system. That is very important. If you don't have it, you'll have a problem. Why? Because the high-performance work system is an end-to-end situation. You're starting from the entry processes that you have to the exit processes that you have. And so you, the HR practitioners, must have that full-scale mindset about that end-to-end and link that directly with the business strategy of the business or of the institution. The high-performance workforce also requires that you focus on high-end motivational tools, with compensation playing a very significant part. Employee participation through dispersed responsibility, delegation, and giving job autonomy where it is possible. Appropriate training and development systems, and strong performance management, as well as promotion of work-life balance. Now, the challenge that we are confronted with many times is that compensation, for example, is one that does not meet everybody at the same time in every way, shape, and form. It is important also that for the high-performance organization, we work on the work environment, the environment in which people operate, the tools that they use and work with. And it is also important that we work on making sure through the HR process that strategy is understood. It is attainable. However, HR people, you must ask yourselves whether you have the encompassing wherewithal to travel down the road of the high-performance work system. Do you have a strategic HRM approach in your organization? Do you have the support of your board or executive management? Have they understood what it is that you want to do with that? The point of these questions is that building the high-performance work system is a full culture shift process that will require long-term will and support. Lesson number 8. HR processes need to be revised to facilitate an integrated approach from recruitment through orientation all the way to exit. Now, that integrated approach is very, very important. And sometimes, lesson number 9, the organogram must also reflect the responsiveness of the institution or the organization to its market. Lesson number 10, the pecuniary returns for the organization are as valued as high-end social services that are provided. Ultimately, combining the pecuniary returns, high-end, and social services that are provided can ultimately be expensive. The point I'm making to you, ladies and gentlemen, is that whilst we may wish to travel down that road, let's have a very strategic mindset about it. Don't use the phrases, as they say, keke. Think of what it is that you want to do. One firm that I know very well, Benso Oil Palm, in its bid to promote the high-performance work system, has gone as far as building a school. I think it's JS all the way through to SHS. And they've done it so well that the school is catering to the people within the organization and the district, the community. And it's so good that it's competing favorably with other top-end schools within the area. Importantly, the organization's structure incorporates working with the school within it. Part 5, integration. I mentioned that I would return to the mongoose analogy. To achieve the difficult task of fighting and killing venomous snakes, the mongoose has developed very agile responses, and as I said earlier, antivenom biology, and a strategic approach to attacking, fighting, and killing the snake. So one of the things it does is it attacks and then quickly walks away and pretends to be leaving. Then it attacks again and quickly walks away. And the point here is that in developing a workforce that is resilient, trustworthy, and high-performing, HR leaders need to be agile, and you need to have your anti-venom capacities. Now, the venom may come from top management or from the floor. Now, how will you respond to the venom when it comes from your peers? Because it'll come. As you seek to make changes, there will be venom. As you seek to develop a strategic approach to your HR, there will be venom. Now, will you be mongoose that has the capacity to bite and go back and come back again, or the venom will destroy you? So I repeat, HR leaders have to be agile, have warm in your spirit, but be cold in your mind in terms of the strategy and the objectives and how we ought to get there. In our part of the world, many times as we do the work we do, we are accused of not being friendly, not smiling, etc., etc., etc. Ultimately, a practical approach for HR leaders is to commit to building any one of these areas, trustworthiness, high performance, resilience, fully. And that will involve certain culture changes, training, rework and realignment of your systems, etc. Now, while you're developing one of these areas fully, you will have a knock-on effect on other areas as well. The point I'm making, you see, is that your topic idea for the conference or this AGM is great, the trustworthiness, resilience, and high-performance work systems, but I'll urge you, don't put them all together and try and do all of them at the same time. Don't. You'll overburden yourself, you'll burden your organization. Now, if you break it up and tackle them bit by bit, you would also sensitize the workforce to the new things that you're trying to do without necessarily overcrowding yourself. Indeed, Smith in 2003 found that all-encompassing and all-embracing efforts at culture change have only a 10 to 20% chance of success. So, break it up. We are well advised to proceed carefully but boldly, because Ghanaian organizations do need a resilient workforce. Ghanaian organizations do need trustworthy people, and Ghanaian organizations do have to promote high-performance systems. So I urge the Institute, and I urge you, to craft a year, 2-year, 3-year-long process by which you work on your organizations for building trustworthiness, noting that it will not just come. You have to build it. You see, that is why we would go to church and be taught in a sermon, because the things you got to don't just come. In the same way, year, 2-year, 3-year-long process of building up the high-performance process. And in the same way, year, 2-year, 3-year-long process of building up people's resilience within the organization. Madam President, I can only wish you well. And I know that members here gathered will deploy some of the thoughts that I have shared with you today towards achieving your intents and your goals. I know that I'll be back to see some of you in different ways within the process of research that I'll be carrying on as time goes on. I thank you very much. May God bless you.
We can do it better. A louder round of applause for Professor Bill Populampo. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Prof. Yes, the round of applause must continue. The round of applause must continue. Very loaded, simple, articulated, and well meant. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure we are all wishing that we could have had a longer engagement, but this, we'll have the opportunity to do that when he engages us on the research. Now, for those of us who were here on Wednesday and on Thursday, we see continuity in what we were doing. The theme for the conference was regulating HRM in Ghana, standards, ethics, and sustainability. Today, we've spoken about building a resilient, trustworthy, and high-performing workforce. Standards will make you resilient. Ethics, trustworthiness, building that goes on, and it will sustain you. So high-performing, and then we sustain and we move on. Another round of applause for Professor Populampo.
Yes, and it is well said. On the second day, yesterday, it was just in line. And I believe that we have done justice as CIHRM building this up. We are building a resilient, trustworthy, and high-performing workforce. Yesterday, we talked about T-shape. And how many of you were here? I love HR. I love HR. Can you give it to me? I love HR. I love HR. And it is getting better and better. Reason you want to belong. Reason you want to grow. Reason you want to develop yourself. And this is very good. I want to suggest, whilst I believe we will be interacting with you, not only for this year, look forward to us, 2026, 2027. I'm sure this is something we would want to do. If you agree with me, give him a round of applause so he will come when we ask for it. But something that I think we can do, are we going to get the speech? We'll get it. We will get it. And I believe that chapters must take it and gulp it and digest it. Let's eat him up. Cobra-like something. Chief, thank you very much. This is a very well done one. I'm shaking you, hoping that all the Apple resilience, high performance, trust. I say amen to that, knowing you are from Central University. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to give him another round of applause. We want to also be grateful that we have this. Nanaya.
So Doc has a prior engagement outside Accra. So during the musical interlude, he'll leave us. We will be meeting him again because he'll be helping us review our standards. So another round of applause. Doc, thank you for agreeing to do this for us.
Very well.
So if you don't mind, my president, my guest speaker, members on the high table, if you could kindly stand.
And we will invite the musical
photograph
man.
before Dr.
Yes.
Popolampo leaves.
You start from here, because we're going to take the photographs, so we'll do that. But you start something from here, and then we will take it up. Or you prefer us to be quiet? You don't want it in the photograph? Okay. You don't want your music in the photograph? Right, sir. Right, sir. Okay. Yes, please. Are we coming? Yes, we'll go down. Or, no, yeah, I think so. There's spacing up there. There's spacing up there. Yes, Dr. Papon. Give them a round of applause. You were here some. You were here some. You were here some. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So Prof will be leaving us shortly. Nene, kindly give us a short interlude. While Prof is walking away, remember he's letting us know that as HR people, we have to be fearless and we must learn from the mongoose. Thank you very much, sir. And we will be inducting some new members soon. While we prepare for that, Nene will be giving us a few tunes. Thank you.
My name is Nenenar. There's a loving in your eyes all the way. If I listen to your lies, you will say, I'm a man without conviction. I'm a man who doesn't know. You come and go. You come and go. Come on, chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Loving would be easy if you cut us like my dream. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. Come on, chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Loving would be easy if you call us like my dream. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. Didn't hear your wicked words every day. You used to be so sweet. I heard you say that my love is an addiction. When we cling, our love is strong. When you go, you're forever gone. You string along. You string along. Oh, come on, chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Oh, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. Yeah. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Oh, love would be easy if you called us like my dream. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. Yeah. Oh, yeah. When the night has come and the land is done, the moon is the only lights we see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, darling, stand by me. Stand by me, yeah. Darling, stand by me. Oh, baby, stand by me. Stand by me, yeah. If the skies that we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountains should crumble to bare seas, I won't cry, no, I won't cry, never shed the tears, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, darling, stand by me. Would you stand by me? Darling, stand by me. Yeah. Oh, stand by me. Would you stand by me? Also pay your dues, like the military people, they pay ahead of time. Make you learn from them. Stand by me. Oh, yeah. I like the way Mama is singing and smiling. She wants to sing stand by me. So darling, darling,
Stand by me.
I like the way you are clapping for her, which means you will sing some.
Prof, I like that. Prof, I like that. Prof, you did well. You did well. Okay.
Stand by me. Stand by me. Oh.
Certainly, if you want to stand by him, you've got to give him a round of applause. That's a lovely one. That's a lovely one. Thank you so much, Nene. Now, we are not finished with you yet. Yeah, so we will do this.
Before we do the induction ceremony, I'd like to invite Mr. Leo Kwakupom, former Vice President, to give us a brief breakdown on the Employee Motivation Survey. A round of applause for him, please.
Please give it to him. Give it to him. He is a former Vice President.
Hello, good morning, Madam President, Madam Vice President,
Kindly let me interrupt you. Owner of car number GR 923521. It's black. You've left your window open. Kindly attend to your vehicle. Car number GR 923520, rather, -20, black. Please attend to your vehicle. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President, Madam Vice President, Mr. CEO, and Mr. IPP, Dr. CEO, and Dr. IPP. Thank you very much for this opportunity to share something with us. So this survey is a collaboration between the CIHRM, HRP Consult, and Data Insight Group. Data Insight Group is our technical partner, so they do all the, they apply all the statistical tools and so on and so forth to put together the report. CIHRM and Data Insight Group, CIHRM and HRP Consult, which I represent, we are the subject matter experts. We have done this for the last 4 years, 2022, 23, 24, and currently the 25th edition. The report has just been completed, and I just want to share a few highlights. So, two main things that I want to talk about. Number one is ENPS. Over the last 4 years, the ENPS has been negative. Now, ENPS is the Employee Net Promoter Score, which measures the likelihood of our employees recommending our organizations to their friends and family. And in the last 4 years, it's been negative. This year, it was negative again. But the significant thing is that the ENPS for the male has been positive, even though overall it is negative. And the ENPS for the females are negative over the last 4 years. This year, when we did a little thought through, one of the things that came to us, because we compared this with the responses in terms of the age bracket, and we realized that a lot of the 43 to 60 of the males are far more than that for the females. And the inference that we're making is that probably the males are in the top decision-making positions, and that's why most of the time their ENPS is positive. They are making the decisions, they are creating the environment, so it is positive. And the females, usually between the ages of 18 and 42, we have a lot more females according to the survey respondents. And we thought that probably that is why the ENPS for the females are negative. This year in particular, both the ENPS for males and females, and then the overall are negative. So that's the first point. The second point is on the top 5 motivators. This year, we have not looked at this from male and female perspective, but this year we did. And the result is quite interesting. So for the top 5 for females, top 5 motivators. So top 5 factors that motivate people in the workplace. For the females, number 1 is job security. Number 2 is personal safety. So safe work environments. So the females are very much concerned about that. The third one is clear objectives. The fourth one is resources and tools to perform duties well. And the fifth one is good working relationship with managers. We hear that people don't leave their jobs, but they leave their bosses. And over the last 4 years, this survey has confirmed that. every year, good working relationship with manager is represented in the top 5 motivators. So, bottom 5 for females. Very interesting. Flexi hours. The females say they don't want it. Number 2. Okay, so if I have to take it from the least motivator, then it's remote work. Working remotely is the least. Then we go to additional responsibility. Then status and position. Status and position. So title, office, glass office, and so on and so forth. Status and position. Then new job content and job enlargement. And finally, flexi hours. So that's the bottom 5 from the list. So let's look at the male. Number 1 motivator for the males, career development, opportunity for growth and promotion. That's the top of the list. Number 2, job security. So the males are also thinking about job security. Number 3, opportunity for personal achievements. Number 4, good working relationship with manager. And number 5, personal safety. For the males, bottom 5, remote work, status, additional responsibility, new job contents and job enlargement, and flexi hours. So these are for the males. Now let's just do a quick comparison with 2024. So for 2024, like I said, we didn't break it down into males and females. So these are the overalls for 2024. Number 1 motivator for 2024, career development, opportunity for growth. That's the top. Opportunity for personal achievements. Top 5 for 2024. Doing what you enjoy doing, dream job. That was the 3rd. Job security was the 4th. And finally, good working relationship with manager. That has appeared every year. Bottom 5 for 2024, work remotely. In fact, work remotely has been consistently least motivator since 2022. Consistently, least motivator. The next is status and position, additional responsibility, company's mission and vision, and flexi hours. So those 2, I don't know why. It's something that we need to find out why. Some of the reasons we found as for remote work or flexi hour is that our cultural setting sometimes doesn't support that. When you work from home, people think you are Sakawa. Because you are always in the house, you are not going to work, they don't see you going to work and coming, so they think you might be doing something fishy. The other reason is that our home environments do not lend themselves to working from home. We don't have working space, we don't have appropriate tables and chairs and so on and so forth. And so people come with back issues because they work from their sofas and so on and so forth. So there are things that we are still trying to find out. Okay, so let me end by saying that in 2024, we reached over 10,000 people. Only about 550 people responded. In 2025, we reached over 10,000 people, over 15,000 people in 2025. Our response rate was, 2024 was 10,000. We've done 2025. 2025 was 15,000, and our response rate was less than 700. So I am using this opportunity to request that when we send out the survey for 2026, Dr. Duku tells me our target should be 2,000. This year we targeted 1,000. We got less than 700. So I'm appealing to us. This is something that will help us. We need to get some information, then we can engage policymakers and see how we can use this data to help them make informed decisions. So we are appealing to us as HR managers. This is for every employee, not for HR people. So we'll appeal to you that when 2026 is out, it's usually out in March and April. So we do it over a 2-month period. So March and April, we gather the data and then we process it afterwards. So on this note, I'll say thank you very much.
Yes, a round of applause for Leo. He calls himself of late, he calls himself the Pope Leo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I believe that we have heard it all. And as our CEO has said earlier on, we are doing it ourselves. So we all get involved. Once we get this survey questionnaire out, we should make an effort to get it filled out and exceed the 2,000 that Dr. Eduku thinks we should target. We should be able to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to the induction. New members. I hear we know ourselves. If you don't mind, if you're a new member, because the number is high, we don't want to just be mentioning names. So all the new members, please come forward. All the new members, humbly, I beseech thee, come forward. This was King James English, so if you don't listen, it means you too, you don't know what God is.
A round of applause for them as they make their way to the front.
Yes. Let's give it to them. They are new members. We are glad we are growing.
Line up
Our
facing
group,
us,
new
please.
members.
Kindly line up
We are
facing
growing.
the
Yes,
stage.
yes, if you can.
Once
Nene.
the oath is
Yes.
administered, we'll ask you to turn around for you to be duly acknowledged by the old members.
Let's give it to them again as they come, as they take their positions. New members.
And this duty will be carried out by our president, Mrs. Florence Hatchful.
Good morning once again. Good morning once again. It's such a joy to see so many of us here this morning. And even more heartwarming to see so many new members going to be sworn into full membership. So this morning, I'll be leading you in declaring the oath of membership. And so I will read, and you would say whatever I say after me. And then you'd insert your own name, and then you'd repeat the rest after me. Thank you. So we're now going to induct into full membership our colleagues who are standing up front here. And as I've already said, we are delighted to have so many people who have satisfied the requirements to be sworn in as full members of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, Ghana. So on this note, I will begin. I, and you insert your name, I, having qualified as a full member of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, Ghana, do declare this day that I shall practice in a manner in accordance with the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Ghana Act.
Ghana.
Act 2020.
Act 2020.
Act 1020, Regulations 2023, and LI 2472. Let me go over that. Act 1020.
Act 1020.
Regulations 2023.
Regulations 2023.
LI 2472.
LI 2472.
And fully comply with the Code of Ethics.
And fully comply with the Code of Ethics.
and any other lawful requirements issued by the Institute.
and any other lawful requirements issued by the Institute.
I further affirm that
I further affirm that
I have made this declaration voluntarily
I have made this declaration voluntarily
as a member of the Institute.
as a member of the Institute.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you'll be giving copies of the document. You'll complete the document, and the Institute will retain copies of the signed declarations later. So thank you all very much. The executives.
It's a Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a break, stretch ourselves, and come to. Okay. Update. Please be seated. Refreshment will come, but we'll take a short break. We are not just moving out, just to save time. Then after that, we come to part 2, the business session, and be a part of this. We are building a workforce that is resilient, trustworthy, and we want to be able to have together a high-performing workforce in that matter. So just be seated as the music man Nene gives us an interlude. It is break time. Of course, if you need to stretch out a bit, you could. However, it's not like a break taken away. It's a short, brief one. 10 minutes maximum, just in case you want to go to the washroom, you want to stretch your legs, you want to see if your car is still in Alisa. Prof, is your all right, ladies and gentlemen, AGM 2025, break time. Thank you. Kindly, an update again is that some of us haven't registered. we haven't given details. If you haven't registered, please just get to the desk and then you will be helped out. Make sure you were here some AGM 2025. And please don't forget it. If you carry your book or bag, there's a suspicion that it means you are going. So please, we want you to be seated for the breakfast, except that we are saying brief, just 5-10 minutes. Go ahead, please.
Mrs. Francisca Eshen, if you are here, kindly see Stephen for your phone. We have your phone. Mrs. Francisca Eshen, please see Stephen for your phone. Thank you.
Shadows grow so long before my eyes, and they are moving across the page. Suddenly, the day turns to night, far away from the city. But don't hesitate, 'cause your love just away. Ooh, yeah. Baby, I love your way. I wanna tell you that I love your ways. I wanna be with you night and day. Ooh, baby, ooh, baby. Oh, baby, I love your ways. I wanna tell you that I love your ways. Every day, I wanna be with you night and day. Oh, baby, oh, baby. Ooh, yeah. Moon appears to shine like the sky with the help of some fireflies. Wonder how they have the power to shine. I can see them under the pine, but don't hesitate, 'cause your love just away. Ooh, baby, I love your ways. I wanna tell you that I love your ways. Wanna be with you night and day. Ooh, baby, oh, baby. Baby, I love your ways.
My HR people, we didn't listen. I said, please sit. We will serve you with breakfast. But so do we listen as HR people? We don't. We weren't paying attention. Thank you for those who listened. I'll come to you.
Shout outs to everyone who didn't listen. Oh, baby, I love your ways. I wanna tell you that I love your ways. Wanna be with you night and day. Ooh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby, I love your ways. Every day, I wanna tell you that I love your ways.
If you've already picked the pack, kindly sit down. Let's clear the hall. Please sit down. Thank you.
Night and day. Ooh, baby, ooh, baby.
Yes, we are appealing to ourselves. Yes, we are appealing to ourselves. If you picked your package, please come and sit so we can continue the program. That would help us to close early. If you've picked your package, and how about those who are seated? Those who are seated and don't have a package, please, if you have your package, I want to see you moving. Please, not time for conversation.
Please sit down. Please sit down. If you haven't,
Yes.
for those of you who listen to our instruction, kindly remain seated. We will bring it to your table. If you haven't had one, just raise your hand and
Yes,
we'll deliver
please,
it
we
to
are
you.
appealing to you. We are appealing to you. We are here with you. If you don't mind, sit down, you'll be served. Please sit down, you'll be served. I'm here.
They say we young, we don't know. We won't find out until we grow. Well, I don't know if all that's true, 'cause I've got you, baby, you got me. Babe, I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got you, babe. They say I love.
Kindly, if you've got your cup, you could move forward, go sit down. If you've gotten what you want, we want everybody seated. You will still be served. You will still be served. Those outside, we are coming for you. Those outside, please. Those of you outside, let's move in. Those of you outside, let's move in. Those of you outside, please. The desk. The desk must stop. Sorry.
Those outside.
The desk must stop. The desk must stop operating. Everybody, please move in. Please move in. It's not time to buy. It's not time to buy. Stop the sales.
Unjaya dear no tono, umbra inside. Yeah. They say our love will pay the rent before it's end. Our money is all been spent. I guess that's so. We don't have a plot, but at least I'm sure of the things we got, babe. I've got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got flowers in the spring. I've got you to wear my ring. And when I am sad, you're the clown. If I get scared, you always surround. So I've got you, babe. 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 I've got.
We are settling down. We're going to start the part 2. Those who haven't been served, you will be served. They are restocking, so everybody will be served. But we want everybody inside seated. We will hand.
I think of you, caught up in circles. Confusion is nothing new. Flashback, one night, almost left behind.
I'm looking far behind. I'm a bit disturbed that we still have quite a number of people standing at the back. I appeal to you, please, just stop what you're doing. I know we do need it. It will be handled.
Stop what you're doing and come back and sit down.
Thank you very much, Nene.
Appealing to you, come back and sit down. We will increase your dues if you don't come. That's your penalty. Time
Thank you very much. We are just about starting the business meeting, the business session of the program. And we want to assure everybody within a short time, once we are seated and there's space enough, those who have not been served, those who need a cup of something, it will be handled. We will see the MC move away because we will coordinate and make sure that you've gotten it. Our secretariat staff are also putting their acts together. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the second part of our program for today, AGM 2025. And as is advertised, is the fourth after the charter. And so we are going to have a session which is going to be controlled by our president, Nanaya. So you come then. And please, Nanaya, hold it. Madam President, please sit down. I want to acknowledge some wonderful people in our midst. Air Commodore Okai. If you are here, please on your feet. Air Commodore Okai. Air Commodore Okai. Can I see you on your foot? On your. Where are you? Where are you? Wave. Oh, they can't see you. Me, I've seen you, but yes. If you don't mind, salute small. Big man salute. And then Commander Nkrumah, if you're around, we want to also see you. These are good men who are moving things. Good men moving things. Ladies and gentlemen, as we have said, this is the business session. This is about us. We want to listen to the president we elected on her annual reports. We are beginning the meeting, and she is going to be in charge of this meeting. It's a business session, so it's going to be very, very engaging. Mrs. Florence Hatchful, the president of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, is going to give us her annual report. Well done, even though the report hasn't started. God bless you.
Giving me a score ahead of time. Thank you. Thank you very much. I will stand on the existing protocols, but permit me to acknowledge those on the high table, my able Vice President, Mrs. Dorothy Asari, indefatigable CEO, Dr. Francis Eduku. I love that name the Ugandan gave her, Ekudu, because she didn't mince any of the syllables. And our immediate past president, Dr. Edward Kwapon. I would also like to acknowledge this morning the presence of members of the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Human Resources Management. My colleagues who are here with us this morning, past and present. I'd like to thank you for the immense support that the Council has enjoyed over the past year. Permit me to also acknowledge the incredible effort put in by the Planning Committee for the just ended HR conference. We give glory to God, but we also want to commend our colleagues who spent timeless effort and time to put this together. Following the successful elections in August 2024 and the seamless transition to the new executive team, we hit the ground running and have never looked back. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to the members of the Governing Council for their immense support, commitment, and dedication to the Institute. As you were told, members are giving just the transport allowance. The people on our council, if we were to try to pay them a sitting allowance, would break the coffers of the Institute. So thank you very much for your sacrificial service. I also wish to commend. Thank you very much, because the next thing I would have seen is that I'll be on the ground. Thank you very much for fixing this for me. I also want to commend our CEO once again and his team for his innovative initiatives which he has introduced and which have moved the Institute to a higher level. Thank you very much, Dr. Eduku, and your team, your entire team, for the passion and the drive which have propelled this institute to this level. We are truly proud of your accomplishments. Now, we'll move on to this year's report. And I feel deeply humbled but honored to stand before you this morning to present an account of our first year of stewardship. In keeping with the tradition of the Institute, I have adopted the Balanced Scorecard framework to present our 2024 operational results. My report will therefore focus on the following areas. Number one will be financial. The second one will be the customer dimension. We'll then look at internal processes and our systems. And then, last but definitely not the least, we'll look at learning and growth, and that is capacity building of our team. I believe the CEO has alluded to some aspects of our financial performance. But the financial perspective refers to the financial objectives of the Institute and reflects our performance in generating income as well as in cost management. We generated revenue through the following avenues: membership drive, member subscriptions, PCP fees and student subscriptions, sale of admission forms, new members induction fees, and I must say that this is a novelty which was introduced by our CEO and his team, and then the HR Complex Development Fund. Now, you'd realize from your reports that we didn't make much in that area. In terms of membership drive, I think we saw some significant growth in our numbers. Now, even though we managed to increase our membership in all categories, the payment of annual membership subscriptions declined by 21%. Now, the decline is attributable to two main factors. First, in 2024, a significant number of people did not meet their payment obligations, unlike 2023. Secondly, unlike the previous year, many members with arrears from prior years did not regularize their outstanding payments. The income generated from annual subscriptions for 2024 was 443,600 Ghana cedis against 563,120 Ghana cedis for 2023. Now, cherished members, I urge you to honor the timely payment of your annual subscriptions, because without these payments, it's very, very difficult to run your cherished institute. So let us all make a commitment to pay our dues and to pay them on time. Thank you very much. PCP and student subscription. Due to a significant improvement in our brand visibility, our student enrollment increased in 2024 compared to 2023. This increase almost doubled the income generated from PCP fees and student subscriptions, from 2.1 million to 4.2 million in 2024, representing approximately an 88% increase in subscriptions. I encourage the CEO and his team to continue the brand visibility campaigns with universities and other institutions in order to enroll more students on our programs. CEO, shall we applaud them? I think this is commendable. This is commendable, and we should encourage them to do more. CEO, do more. Sale of admission forms. The increase in student enrollment also resulted in a significant improvement in the sale of admission forms, from 122,000 in 2023 to 210,000 in 2024, representing a 42% increase. Now, I think I've referred to new members' induction fees. Consistent with other professional bodies, the Institute introduced induction fees for new members. Going forward, as part of our AGM, we will officially introduce new members and welcome them into the Institute family, just as you saw a while ago. We will publish their names in reputable media outlets as part of our brand visibility strategy. Regarding this initiative, I am pleased to report that we generated an income of 73,200 Ghana cedis. Again, I commend the CEO and his team for introducing this great initiative. Now, I'd like to move on just to take a look at our numbers, income and expenditure for the period under review. Total income for the Institute rose from 4.1 million to 6.3 million, indicating a net increase of 2.2 million. This represents a growth of 54% in income. Total expenditure for the Institute increased from 4.1 million in 2023 to 4.7 million in 2024, representing a 14% increase. I believe that it is significant to know that revenue growth outstripped the rate of expenditure during the review period, which is very, very, very commendable. Shall we applaud the Institute for their prudent management of our resources and their focus on income generation? Thank you very much, CEO and your team. Well done. The Institute recorded a net surplus of 1.5 million for 2024, in contrast to a net deficit of 37,000 recorded in 2023. This surplus serves as a positive performance indicator, reflecting prudent financial management practices and efficiencies in the Institute's activities. Thank you again, CEO and your team. I'd now like to move very quickly to our customer perspective. And under this dimension, we will cover stakeholder engagement, media engagement, and collaboration with our partners. Members of the Institute engaged actively with key stakeholders to strengthen relationships and promote the Institute's brand and visibility under the review period. Some of the engagements during the period under review have been highlighted in the annual report, but I'd just like to stress a few. Dr. Eduku and Mrs. Josephine Ayesu-Jan, HR and Corporate Affairs Manager, accompanied by Mrs. Audrey Sasu, our longest-serving member, interacted with the Tema chapter sometime during last year, and also had a similar session with the Winneba chapter. Again, the team also engaged with the HR managers of Cocoa Board to discuss continuing professional development programs and certification of their members. Would like to acknowledge the contribution of Mr. Bertrand Rasulni Amukwe, who served on a number of interview panels to ensure that HR standards were maintained during numerous interviews organized by the Public Services Commission and other agencies. Bertrand, thank you very much for your support. The council members, led by Dr. Edward Kwapong. Dr. Kwapong, are you listening? Led by Dr. Edward Kwapong, immediate past president of the Institute, introduced the new CEO, Dr. Eduku to the CEO of the Ghana Employers Association in August last year. The new council members, led by me, also introduced the new CEO to the Minister for Labor and Employment sometime last year. That is the outgone minister. The Institute signed an MOU with the University of Ghana Business School in October 2024, and I believe the CEO spoke extensively about that in his report, so I will not go over that. The CEO presented the importance of HR regulation in advancing human capital development at the Global HR Conference held in October 2024. Dr. Eduku, Mr. Yen Sapak, Manager for Research and Policy Development, Mrs. Louise Ajman Benin, Council Member, also interacted with the Chartered Institute of Bankers to discuss our collaboration with them in November 2024. Dr. Eduku also made a presentation at the inauguration of the maiden conference of the Human Resource Practitioners Association of the Local Government Service Ghana on November 30th, 2024. Again, Dr. Eduku made a presentation at the Ministry of Education HR Conference in Ho in December 2024. So as you can tell from all these engagements, your institute is actively ensuring that we are networking as much as we can to ensure that we have visibility and we are adding value to HR bodies across the entire country. Media engagement. The Institute's visibility was promoted through reputable media outlets across both online and print platforms. The CEO participated in a series of interviews on City FM and other prominent media houses. At this juncture, I would like us to also acknowledge the contribution of our able media consultant, Mr. Maxwell Jura. If he's here, Maxwell, where are you? Maxwell, please, shall we give him a round of applause? Now, Maxwell has ensured that all of our activities are given great media coverage as a way of enhancing the visibility of our institute. Thank you very much, Maxwell, for all your support. The institute also advertised and published its graduation and conferral ceremonies in reputable media outlets. Now we'll move on to the third dimension going by the balanced scorecard framework, and that is internal processes. This perspective focuses on the following: quarterly audit reporting, integrated IT systems. The idea is to, as much as possible, minimize the risks associated with the work of the Institute. So the Institute continued to fulfill its requirements regarding the submission of quarterly audit reports, as well as annual audit plans to Council and the relevant bodies. The development of the Institute's integrated IT system commenced in the last quarter of 2024, and it is expected to be fully installed by the end of the second quarter of 2025. Once fully operational, the system will significantly enhance the efficiency of the Institute's service and program delivery. And here we'll then treat you all to, use this system, because it will make life very, very easy for you. Regarding your payments, regarding your inquiries, etc., you can go online and do all of those things. So once it's operational, you'll get information and you can go online and use the full service of the system. So now we move on to learning and growth, that is capacity building. This perspective focuses on staff capacity building, national service, personnel, raising HR competency levels in Ghana, and the establishment of the Tamale Center. Staff capacity building. In our bid to enhance the Institute's staff capacity, the Institute continued with development of its staff. Mrs. Jennifer Yobanya, Certification Officer, represented the Institute at the Purple Month Workplace Mental Wellbeing Seminar in May 2024. So did Mrs. Josephine Ayensu, HR and Corporate Affairs Manager in the Ghana Chamber of Mines HR Conference in August 2024. Mr. Yen Sapak, our Research Manager, and Jennifer, Certification Officer, together with Ms. Ama Bimpom, Programs Administrator, participated in the Global Conference on Human Resources in Africa from October 24 to 25 last year. We had a number of national service personnel assigned to the Institute, and I believe the CEO reported on that in his report. Now, raising HR competency levels in Ghana. The Institute continued to provide tuition for professional certification examinations and carried out continuing professional development workshops to raise competency levels of HR professionals in Ghana. The following were the details of the professional certification programs and workshops for the year under review. And I believe the details are presented in your report. So kindly take time to go through the details. The continuing professional development workshops were held for members on the following topics: change management, HR professional and legal compliance, compensation and total rewards management, and performance management system. The Tamale Learning Center. We're pleased to announce that a new learning center at Tamale was opened in June 2024 to expand our professional certification offerings to the northern region. So in brief, that is a report on what transpired in 2024. I'd now like to move on to the outlook for 2025 and beyond. The Council is working with the Institute staff and selected resource persons and members of the Professional Certification Board to develop a 3-year strategic plan for the Institute. We are committed to finalizing and rolling out this strategic plan before the end of this year. And I believe that this is a very, very crucial initiative, and we all need to uphold it. Visibility. We will continue to invest in publicity and public education to enhance our visibility as the only legally mandated HR professional body established by law to regulate the practice of human resource management and maintain HR standards in Ghana. This is our mandate, and we will execute our mandate. Local presence. We will continue to collaborate and work closely with our learning partners to establish our presence in all the regional capitals in Ghana. Regional and global presence. We will pursue partnership arrangements with organizers of the Africa HR Summit and other conferences, as well as collaborating with CIHRM and other reputable international HR professional bodies. And I believe that if you participated in the just ended HR conference, you would have observed or you would have witnessed the relationship that is developing between our institute and the other HR bodies. We are not rivals. We're actually collaborators, collaborating to build HR capacity in Ghana. So I think that we need to applaud that initiative. Research and policy. We will collaborate with the private and public sector institutions to conduct research on emerging HR areas to inform policy directions, and professional competency development. Collaboration with academia. We will continue our collaboration with universities to bridge the gap between industry and academia by reviewing their HR offerings and organizing short courses and programs for their students and faculty members. I know the CEO has already reached out to you, but I think to help us operationalize the provisions in the MOUs which we have already signed, we'll appeal to you to help us find internships for the students who are studying human resources management in our various tertiary organizations. It is only by working with our organizations that they will pick up all those nuanced HR issues that are not in the textbooks. A lot of us learned HR on the job. We didn't learn HR from the textbooks. You know, we didn't learn HR from the textbooks. So please help us to be able to demonstrate our commitment to the MOUs which have been signed. Fundraising events. We will be organizing fundraising events to raise funds to support the Institute's programs and initiatives. Members of our great Institute, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I wish to express Council's profound gratitude to all members of our Institute for your support and goodwill. I would also like to state that I'm filled with optimism about the ongoing transformation within our Institute. Our Institute is gaining well-deserved attention, and I'm confident that if each of us contributes our quota, we'll build a well-respected institute that commands the respect and admiration of all with the help of God. Thank you very much for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you heard the speech and got your points right, we've got to do something more. Shall we give ourselves? Now we will give our council members, led by Mrs. Hatchful, a louder round of applause. It's not election time this year, so the more we clap, the more they will deliver. Shall we give it to them? It's weak, it's weak, it's weak. And the idea for me too, one, I got out of it. Yesterday when I was in the conference, I was getting excited about the fact that we have all these university dons and people coming and seeing CIHR. And frankly speaking, if you're a young one here, prepare yourself, get strong. Because all those people in those institutions, they will be coming after you. And then when they come, you will come and be the big, big people. So it is good we collaborate. The appeal I got was that we should encourage on-the-job training, internships, attachments, collaborations. Let us look at opportunities like that. And again, the profitability. Please, let's give them a round of applause. And we promise that we'll contribute to some. All those of us not paying dues, and those paying dues, we will pay dues. If you agree with me, round of applause. Why that one has gone so low? What's going on here? Let's give a round of applause to ourselves that we will pay.
You see, they know you're asking for money. You ask soon.
Oh, you are here. Okay, come and collect some of the money. Please come.
Thank you very much, Seth. Madam President, this is your meeting, so we'll be disturbing you. Without further ado, would like for you to continue as discussed on the annual report, please. Our auditors are here. If the rep is here, kindly come forward. A round of applause for our auditors. They've been busy working.
Round of applause. So he will tell us whether it's true there's profitability. He'll tell us whether
we're happy
the
to
money
see
are
he has
coming.
been unwell, but
Yes,
he made
please.
sure that he's here. That is dedication. A round of applause. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Quality Daniel, and I'm a rep of the Audit Service. Before I proceed, all protocols are duly observed. I also bring you greetings from the Auditor General. I hereby present to you the Independent Auditor's Report for the year 2024 for the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management. Opinion. We have audited the financial statements of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, Ghana, which comprise the statement of financial position as at 31st December 2024, the statement of comprehensive income, the statement of changes in net assets, and cash flow statement for the year then ended, and the notes in the financial statement as set out on pages 10 to 24, including a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory notes. Our opinion. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the Institute as at 31st December 2024 and of its financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with international financial reporting standards for small and medium-sized entities, and in a manner as required by the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, Ghana, Act 2020, Act 1020. The basis for our opinion. We conducted the audit in accordance with the international standards of supreme audit institutions. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statement section of this report. We are independent of the entity in accordance with the Code of Ethics of Supreme Audit Institutions, together with ethical requirements that are relevant to the audit of the financial statements in Ghana. And we have fulfilled all other ethical responsibilities in accordance with these requirements and the Code of Ethics. We believe the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Other information. The Council is responsible for the other information. The other information comprises the President's statement and other reports of standing committees included in the 2024 annual report. Our audit of the financial statement does not cover the other information, and we do not express any form of assurance thereon. In connection with our audit of the financial statement, our responsibility is to read the other information, and in doing so, consider whether the information is materially inconsistent with the financial statement or our knowledge obtained in the audit. or otherwise appears to be materially misstated. If based on the work we have performed, we conclude that there is a material misstatement of this other information, we are required to report that fact. We have nothing in this regard. The responsibilities of counsel in the preparation of the financial statement. The counsel is responsible for the preparation of the financial statement in accordance with IFRS for SMEs and in the manner required by the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management Ghana, Act 2020, Act 1020, and for certain such internal controls as they determine necessary to enable the preparation of the financial statement that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statement, counsel is responsible for assessing the institute's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing as applicable matters related to going concern, and using the going concern basis in the preparation of the accounts. Counsel is responsible for overseeing the institute's financial reporting process. Our responsibility as auditors in the preparation of the financial statement. Our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue auditors' report that includes in our opinion. Reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance, but is not a guarantee that the audit conducted in accordance with international standards or Supreme Audit Institution, which is ISIS, which is consistent with the fundamental auditing principle, ISI 100 to 999 of the International Standards of Supreme Audit Institutions, will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. Misstatements can arise from fraud or error and are considered material if, individual or in aggregate, they could reasonably be expected to influence the economic decisions of users taken on the basis of these financial statements. As part of an audit in accordance with international standards of Supreme Audit Institutions, which is consistent with the fundamental auditing principles of the International Standards of Supreme Audit Institution, we exercise professional skepticism throughout the audit. We also identify and assess the risks of material misstatement in the financial statement, whether due to fraud or error, and designed and perform audit procedures responsive to those risks, while obtaining audit evidence sufficient and appropriate to provide enough basis to form our opinion. The risk of not detecting a material misstatement resulting from fraud is higher than for one resulting from error. A fraud may involve collusion, forgery, intentional omissions, misrepresentations, or the override of internal controls. Obtain an understanding of the internal controls relevant to the audit in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances, but not for purposes of expressing on the effectiveness of the entity's internal controls. Evaluate the appropriateness of the accounting policies used and the reasonableness of the accounting estimate and related disclosures made by counsel. Conclude on appropriateness of counsel's use of the going concern basis of accounting, and based on the audit evidence obtained, whether a material uncertainty exists related to events or conditions that may cast significant doubt on the entity's ability to continue as a going concern. If we conclude that a material uncertainty exists, we are required to draw attention in the auditor's report to the related disclosures in the financial statement, or if such disclosures are inadequate, to modify our opinion. Our conclusions are based on the audit evidence obtained up to the date of the report. However, future events or conditions may cause the entity to cease to continue as a going concern. Evaluate the overall presentation, structure, and content of the financial statement, including the disclosures, and whether the financial statements represent the underlying transactions and events in a manner that achieves fair presentation. Lastly, obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding the financial information of the entity or business activities within the institute to express an opinion on the financial statement. We are responsible for the direction, supervision, and performance of the institute's audit. We remain solely responsible for our audit opinion. We communicate with those charged with governance regarding, among other matters, the planned scope, the timing of the audit, and significant audit findings, including any significant deficiencies in internal control that we identified during the audit. We also provide those charged with governance a statement that we have complied with relevant ethical requirements regarding independence, and to communicate with them all relationships and other matters that may reasonably be thought to bear on our independence, and where applicable, related safeguards. This independent auditor's report is issued by Elizabeth Botwe, the Deputy Auditor General, Commercial Audit Department, on behalf of the Auditor General, and it is dated on the 5th of June, 2025. Thank you very much.
Can I sit down? I can sit down. Okay. So thank you very much, Mr. Kolete, for that very detailed and insightful report. There's a chair down here. There's a chair down here. Yeah. So members, you've heard the report from our auditors. If members have any comments, questions on any aspect of the report, kindly just raise your hand, and you'll be given a mic to ask your question.